Hi! Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to a new vlog. As I always am on Wednesdays, I'm about to head over to the house to hang out with my parents and the doggies. I've got a lot on my list today. I still need to make my list today. My list is right now all in my head. So first thing I'm going to do, I think, when I get to the house is sit down with my planner and just list everything out. I know I need to do at least 2 chapters of copy editing in Independent Hearts. I mentioned that at the end of the last vlog. I had this realization that if I can continue doing 2 chapters a day of copy editing, I will be done by Friday the 30th, which would put me a week ahead of schedule, which is great because I'm about 2 weeks behind, not my original schedule. I'm like a month behind my original schedule, maybe even like 5 or 6 weeks. Well, maybe not quite that much, but I'm definitely a month behind my original schedule. Then I amended it and I'm still about 2 weeks behind the amended schedule. So if I can get a week back, I think that would be great. Right now, things are on track to have Independent Hearts Book 1 come out on or around September 1st. I will probably push that book live early if I can, but I don't think it would go up more than a week early. So it would be nice if it could still come out like somewhere in that last week of August. So we'll see. But I think September, early September is doable at this point. And I don't want to get further behind on that because then I'm just going to get further behind on Across the Pond. The hope is that the faster I can get Independent Hearts off my plate, and if I can do that before the semester starts, which would be great, if I could have everything uploaded like the week before the semester starts, then that would give me a week of being able to focus on Across the Pond Book 3 in just a little bit more of a primary focus kind of way before my workload starts to really pick up. You know, the semester starts on August 19th. That's a Thursday. The first 2 days are never as busy and as crazy. I'm not working late within those first like 2 or 3 weeks of the semester. My schedule is really manageable. So I'm just hoping that if I can get Independent Hearts just up and out and launched as soon as possible, then I can take some time near the beginning of the semester when I'm not as busy, try to get caught up on Across the Pond, because I'm feeling just a little bit behind on that. And that one I just feel like there is more pressure to get it out on time. I mean, book 1 came out at Christmas, like literally Boxing Day, but book 2 I put out on December 1st, and that is kind of what I'm aiming for, that like day 1 of Vlogmas will be me publishing and releasing the book the way that day 1 of Vlogmas was last year. Just think that works out really great for Vlogmas, but then it works out that I get to then enjoy Christmas and Vlogmas and all of that because I'm not still trying to publish a book. I don't want book 3 to come out in like mid or late December. I want it to come out on December 1st. So there is more pressure with that one to feel like I've got to get back on track with the schedule. So I've had a quiet morning so far. This morning, after getting ready, I sat down to read and do my morning journaling, and I finally finished rereading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I have a digital copy. That was the first time I read it. It was on my Kindle, so I have a Kindle copy that's all highlighted and annotated and stuff like that. And I now have a physical copy that's all flagged and annotated and highlighted. I love this book. Let me know in the comments if you've read The Power of Now. I don't meet a whole lot of people who've read it, but I love this book, and I love it more and more every time I read it. Every time I step away from it and I'm not thinking about it, I forget a lot of what's in here, and then I come back to reading it and I'm like, oh yeah. And whenever I'm actively reading it or looking at it, I just feel a lot better. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm able to be more present. Now the plan is this will live at my desk, because I feel like it's at my desk where I struggle the most with not being present. Although, like, I can struggle with that anywhere, but work can stress me out. So I feel like I like starting my day with reading a bit of this, and I like ending my day with reading a bit of this, or just if I get an email from a student or from my department, or if just something kind of suddenly goes wrong and I start spinning out, I can read this book. So now, because I've got everything flagged, I can just like randomly flip and land on a page and just kind of read those sections. I don't have to read through it in order. So done reading this, really happy about that. Now I'm moving on to rereading, I've got my highlighter, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I read this book a few years ago. I remember reading it by the pool. So it's been at least since summer of 2019 that I read this, but it might have even been summer of 2018. I think it was summer of 2018, because I was focusing on copywriting at the time. So I haven't read this since deciding to become a self-published author. And so I remember loving it, and I do have some stuff highlighted in here. So I'm just feeling like it's a good time to reread this one and annotate it and mark it up. And just, I think this one has always lived kind of close to my desk because it's just such a great book. So I'm excited to reread this one. I want to make a morning practice of reading some kind of personal development book like The Power of Now or Big Magic before or after I do my morning journaling. I like the idea of having just this little collection of inspirational books that I can have on my desk. And so if I'm having a moment of creative doubt, I can pull out Big Magic. If I'm starting to feel like I'm stressing about the future and stuff, I can pull out The Power of Now and just like use them to bring me back to the now, back to the center, back to like not stressing about things. So that's my little like mindful moment start to this vlog. Let me know if you've read The Power of Now or if you've read Big Magic. I'd love to talk about those books in the comments. They are two of my favorite nonfiction books within the, I don't like calling them self-help. I much prefer the term personal development. They just help me feel like I'm growing as a person. Anyway, it is now 10:30, so I need to get on the road. Let's get on the road. Let's go see the doggies. But first, let's stop at Starbucks. Hello. Okay, I am home now. It is getting late and dark. It's about 7:40 at the moment, so I've pretty much literally just walked in the door, just getting everything settled in and unpacked and whatnot. So I'm ready to just sit down and watch TV tonight. I've had a fairly relaxing day, all things considered. I didn't end up doing as much as I'd hoped, but that's okay. I was really tired, and so I just laid down watching some TV, just thought, okay, I'm just gonna let myself rest for a little bit, because you know, during the semester, I can't do that. When I go over to the house, I'm like grading papers and responding to emails, and I'm, you know, working the whole time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let myself lay down and just watch a TV show and not try to do a million things while I'm watching it. And yeah, I ended up falling asleep for at least an hour, if not an hour and a half. It was thankfully earlier in the afternoon, so I'm hoping it won't impact me falling asleep tonight. So I'm gonna just kind of watch TV and relax for an hour or so, maybe about an hour and a half, and then I'm gonna get in bed and try not to be up super late. I did get 2 chapters copy edited, so I at least got that done, so I'm on track with that, but I didn't get any other editing work done, but I kind of knew that was gonna happen. I had a lovely day snuggling with the dogs. I actually got Lexi to come and lay on the couch with me for a little bit, so that was really nice. And then we had Chipotle for dinner, so it was delicious. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling because that's really all I'm doing, and I will check with you guys sometime tomorrow. Good morning. It was a very interesting night last night, as you will have just seen in the footage. Hopefully it turned out. Hopefully at least some of those clips were usable. I was definitely up a little bit later than I wanted, but it paid off this time. I just started hearing like this rumbling, and at first it almost sounded like someone just kind of rushing down the stairs, because the stairs are just like stone slabs over metal, and the metal kind of like just dings and hums a little bit if people go down it really fast, and so it almost sounds like thunder. But on the second one I'm like, no, I don't think that's anyone outside. I think that's thunder. I saw a flash, and then a second later, I mean, it was so close, I just heard this god almighty bang that sounded like a cannonball being fired. And a split second after that, I heard a car alarm going off. But I'm just gonna go make sure, like, just go see whose car it is. So I came out here and yeah, it was one of my neighbor's cars. It was the one closest to my window, which is why it was sounding so loud. It eventually turned itself off, but once I was out here, there was just so much lightning and it was so cool. So I opened up my blinds and I just sat here kind of a few feet away from the window and just watched the light show. Most of it was like up in the clouds and just like lighting up the clouds, but there were a few like actual lightning bolts that I could see streak across the sky, and that was really cool. And didn't last long. I'd say the whole storm probably lasted about 30 minutes. We haven't had a light show like that in a while. We haven't had that kind of lightning. It was just constant. It was really cool. We did get some rain, not nearly enough. Really enjoyed that. It was worth staying up a little late for. I'm gonna get on with the rest of my morning and get to work, and I will check with you guys a little bit later. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I have just finished copy editing 2 more chapters, so I'm on track with that. I'm just gonna, I need to be editing across the pond. I can't just not edit. I need to be doing like at least 30 minutes a day, but it's not gonna happen today, and that's all right. I'm slowing down though. I am really slowing down. I'm thinking through all this while I'm vlogging, which is not very good vlog content. I'm just trying to decide if it's 5 and I want to be eating by about 6:30. It takes me about an hour to an hour and a half to edit a vlog. So I've just run out of time today. But I think then my schedule was a little overly ambitious. I did, however, there was one thing that I jumped to the front of the list and I got that done, and I'm feeling pretty proud of myself for that. So my website now has it's very basic, but it has a privacy policy, and I have a cookie notification banner that pops up that asks you to accept or decline the use of cookies. And that ended up being super easy to do once I looked at the instructions to do it. So now it's well, not just a matter, but now it's a matter of figuring out how to, because some of these things were all connected. Like I was realizing, like if I'm collecting emails, I need to have a privacy policy that explains what I'm doing with those. So it's, you start doing this and you realize, oh, there's other steps. Like I can't just start at this point. I've got to go back a ways and start back here and get these other things done first. So I've now done both of those 2 tasks. I just set a timer for 30 minutes and said, I'm just gonna see how far I can get. And I ended up getting both of those tasks done. I was initially just hoping to get the privacy policy done, and that ended up not being too bad either, but I did have to look up instructions first on like what to put in the privacy policy and then how to add it as a page in the footer and not have it be like in the main navigation bar up at the top. So once I found good instructions, it was easy, but it just took a little bit of time to find the right instructions. I could say I'm 30 minutes behind because of that. I should have sketched for 30 minutes instead of doing that, but it did need to get done. So at least I've done that. Copy editing is going well. ProWritingAid has been very interesting. First impressions of using it for like the first, I think I'm up through chapter 8 today. Yeah, I finished with chapter 8. It's been working really well. There are some things, like it's, at the end of the day, it's still a computer program, so it doesn't totally replace doing an actual copy edit. And so I'm using it in support of copy editing to catch things that I wouldn't catch. You either need to still plan on doing a copy edit yourself or on hiring someone to copy edit for you. I'm an advocate for self-editing. I don't think you have to hire someone. You just then have to be prepared to take it seriously and do it properly yourself if you don't hire someone, which I'm capable of doing. It just takes me a long time. And so I do feel like ProWritingAid is making it go a little bit faster, and it's catching things that I wouldn't normally catch. But some of the things that it will flag are things that I don't feel are actual issues, that they're kind of like a judgment call. Some of the passive language I've been able to change, but then sometimes it'll flag something either as a passive language issue or as a general style issue, and its suggestions just like don't make sense. Like there was one where I just referenced that something was a nice touch, and it wanted to get rid of nice and change it to like pleasant or something else. I was like, well, that's not the phrase though. Typically you'd say something, you know, that was a nice touch, that detail was a nice touch. And so it's like, that's just like the phrase. There were a few other things, I can't remember now, but a few other things where it's like, but that's not how people would say it in conversation. So it's been interesting to see what the computer programming picks up on and what it doesn't. There've been a couple things, like a character's name was misspelled, like it was missing a vowel where it was clearly supposed to have a vowel, and it didn't flag that. It's like, well, that's a bit odd. But it is catching things like if I have a starting quotation mark and I don't have the ending one, or vice versa. It flags if I like start a sentence with the same word or like preposition or pronoun or something. So like if I have 3 sentences that start with I, it flags that. So there are a lot of things like that it's been really helpful. And honestly, just the commas alone, because I'm rubbish at all of the comma rules. I never know for sure where commas should and shouldn't go. Although there's this one issue where it will tell me there's a possible missing comma, and so then I put the comma in, and then it immediately switches to a warning of there's an unnecessary comma. And then I get rid of the comma, and then it flags up that there's a potentially missing comma. It's just like, make up your mind. So I think as with all of, as with regular, grammar or spell check in a word processing program, or using something like Grammarly, which is another popular one, ProWritingAid is the one that gets recommended the most for indie authors. It does have some benefits over Grammarly. I guess it's just a slightly more robust programming for it, but all of these are not substitutions for having some knowledge of how to edit your own stuff. They're not a replacement, they're just an addition to your existing skills. But it does seem like it's making it go a lot faster. I'm able to get 2 chapters done a day without feeling like I'm really stressing about it, and without it feeling like it's taking me half of my day. So that's my little update on ProWritingAid. I will try to do a more detailed video. If you guys are interested, let me know. My brain is tired. It's had enough. It's been a long week so far. I can't believe it's Friday tomorrow already. I don't know where this week has gone. I really don't. I can feel myself starting to think of like tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and like getting everything done. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop. I feel like this vlog is ending in a I'm in a really weird headspace. So I feel like this vlog is ending in a weird space. It just feels a little incomplete to me. I don't know why. I clearly need to just let my brain kind of stop for the day. So a question for the vlog. What is your favorite way of shutting your brain down? Like at the end of the day when you need to relax, like is there something that you do? Is there a way that you signal to your brain that we're done now? We're done working, we're moving into the final stage of the day and we're moving into relaxing mode. Like what do you guys do? Sometimes I do my journal. Sometimes I just turn on a YouTube video, like that can just kind of signal my brain, oh, we're watching YouTube now, we're done working. But so often I end up like editing a vlog or doing something with Instagram or something, and things that still feel a bit like work. So I do feel like I need to get better at truly switching off. So I'd love to know, like, is there something you do that helps you transition from work mode into resting mode? Let me know in the comments. On that note, I'm gonna go. I will show you what I get up to the rest of the day, or the rest of the evening. If you've enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would be amazing. Say hi in the comments, answer our question of the vlog, and yeah, I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!